another episode of Kidlit Book Club. And who am I here with?
Peter.
And we have how many books to tell them about?
4.
Plus an ebook, so 5 books. We have been very busy having lots of fun reading things together. And what is the first book we're going to talk about? What's it called?
Gingler treatment.
The Giggler treatment. And is this a serious book or a funny book?
Definitely funny.
Definitely funny.
And also a little serious.
Also a little serious. I needed to brighten things up because it was kind of dark. So yes, it is a silly book. And what are Gigglers, Peter?
Well, there's these tiny They're these little people that
animals, I think.
Yeah, there's these like little furry animals, like they're sort of people, but they're sort of animals also. And if a grown up is mean and if a grown up is mean to a kid, they'll do the Giggler treatment to the grown up. The Giggler treatment is where they make a pile of dog poop, and then the grown up doesn't see it and then just steps in it.
So it is a really funny book, and it shows the dog prefers to go on the toilet. That's his ideal scenario. Very, very short chapters. This, if we had like nothing to do that morning, I could have read it in a morning. It's 110 pages, and the humor is very tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, it was just very, very funny. I was trying to find a picture, Peter, of them rescuing, because they changed their minds about this one grown-up who's going to get the Giggler treatment, and they're trying to rescue. Yeah, here's where he's almost stepped on it.
And there's this baby flying over.
Yeah.
And then the dog Rover has to tell the author not to make that guy step into poo.
Yes.
And then the author just rewrites it.
And the author rewrites it. That's right. So yeah, it was also like breaks the fourth wall. Very fun reading experience. That means it breaks the fourth wall, means the book talks to the writer or the reader directly. Okay, next, Peter, what's this one?
Flora the Pig. Wait, no. Oh, it's the Adventures of South Pole Pig.
That's right, and the pig is named Flora. And Flora, what is her dream? What does she want to be?
She wants to be a sled dog.
Or a sled pig.
Yeah,
she really wants to
pig.
be. And so you get to see her at first. She's living on a farm with her mother and her siblings. And then she gets taken. And where do they end up? What kind of vessel do they end up in?
The Explorer.
The Explorer, a big ship, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to Antarctica?
Yeah, and they're going to eat her. And
she doesn't know that she's food. They're planning on eating her.
Yeah, and she's going to help the sled dogs.
Yes, she does.
But then Oscar and this cat named Sophia just like rescue her from being eaten.
They make her go hide in the snow. And the reason that she's particularly worried she's going to get eaten is because their ship, this was like a Titanic experience. Their ship runs into an iceberg and sinks. But they have enough lifeboats where everyone's able to get off. And so then they're several days away from a food station that was waiting for them had they, landed, had they anchored at the right spot. And so things are looking pretty scary. But then Flora ends up becoming kind of a hero, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the dog Oscar ends up getting pretty mean.
Yes, he does. But then he's less mean.
Yeah.
So that's cool. He's a complex character. Now, I will say, Peter, I think, enjoyed this more than I did. So as a grown-up, I do really love a good, charming, cozy, whimsical children's read. And there's, at some point there's the line between saccharine and cozy, and this just fell over the line. Flora was a little too plucky, can do, and it was just kind of over the top, and I got really tired of her character by the end. So this would have been a 3-star read, but it was almost 300 pages, which is long for a read aloud, or compared to the read alouds that we've been doing. So I was really ready to be done with this by the end. Also, I thought it was really stressful that for about half the book, she didn't know she was supposed to be food. And the whole shipwreck thing, it was just, I don't know, it was not as lighthearted as I was thinking I was going into. So yeah,
all right.
This one I didn't like all that much.
In the next book we read, are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, we read that all in a day on Monday. And this we read Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. And the next one is Junie B. Jones and the Mushy Gushy Valentine's Day.
Yes. And this was really fun. If you know Junie B. Jones, how would you describe Junie B. Jones?
Oh, she's pretty funny, sort of.
She's pretty funny.
Yeah.
She's precocious. She's dramatic. She's plucky. And she always speaks her mind, and I'll show some of the illustrations. What is really fun about this in particular for grown-ups to read is that there's a lot of, when she's dramatic, she talks about her teacher, who she calls Mrs. And it says, then Mrs. just looked at her, she rolled her eyes up to the ceiling, and then I looked at the ceiling, there wasn't anything there. I didn't know what she was looking at. So humor for grown-ups to appreciate. I will say, though, with a couple things, Peter, right, there is some kind of, like, potty talk or just mean talk that we don't talk that way in our house.
Yeah.
But you just knew that, and I think you are grown up enough that you can laugh at it when Junie B does it. Just like when you read Calvin and Hobbes, you know that there's a lot of stuff that Calvin does that you shouldn't do. But it's okay, you can read it.
But it is super funny.
It is very funny. And I know if I was Junie B's teacher, like, she would drive me crazy, but I would also have trouble not laughing out loud. Because sometimes I think Arthur's like that. Like, Arthur's really funny when he's naughty sometimes.
Yeah. Also, Calvin has a big imagination.
Calvin does have a big imagination.
A super big. Like, his imagination is as big as himself.
Yeah. Okay, and I realized we forgot to talk about our ebook of Tuesdays at the Castle. Peter.
Also...
We'll talk about that one in a minute. You want to do it now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that one.
And This is Gooseberry Pie
by Cynthia Rylant. And this, if you like the Mr. Putter and Tabby books, if you like the Poppleton books by Cynthia Rylant, read this. It is like a very extended Mr. Putter and Tabby. Just the intense coziness and just the warmth of these books is in here. And he lives, Kona is the main character, and he lives with a professor. And so the professor has this very...
I thought Stumpy was the main character.
Oh, maybe. Then Stumpy is the squirrel, and there's a big ice storm that happens. And so Kona goes on a mission to help Stumpy and her newborn squirrel babies. And it's a sweet story of friendship. It was very short. It is only 133 pages and an absolute delight. So yeah, if you enjoy Cynthia Rylant's other books, I highly recommend this. I just love her writing. And she's written this is I would call an early reader book. She's also written some middle grade chapter books, which I would be interested in reading. Okay, lastly, Peter, Tuesdays at the Castle. Did we love... Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. We loved it. It was perfect.
It was so good. What in particular, did you really like the character of Sealy? Is that what made you like it so much?
Yeah, Sealy.
Sealy?
Yeah. Sealy was super fun. She was pretty adventurous, and she also fought.
She did, yes. I like that.
She crumbled up these extra hard biscuits and just threw at a guard that was trying to catch her.
She did, yeah.
And then kicked him down some stairs.
Yes.
And then tricked him, making him fall all down the stairs with another guard CSB. And
yes. So it was it was good, and I still gave it 5 stars the second time around. I was really pleased that I still loved it that much. So yeah, we'll definitely read more out of the Tuesdays at the Castle series.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So we'll be back again in a few weeks. What happens is I'm like, oh, I don't quite feel like filming today, and then we just kept reading books. So we'll just be back for another wrap up, I guess, and to let you know about the next books that we read. And we hope that you enjoyed this and have a lovely day.
Bye.